that goes into the bloodstream. And that substance have to be consistent with removing things from the wall of the intestines or from the wall of the individual. Removing things that does not belong in you. That is potassium phosphate, a dibasic. And we manufacture that, and we are the only people in the United States that's doing that now. As it adheres, as the substance enters the bloodstream, it goes in the walls and pushes things away. Doctors try to cut it out, but there is no knife that could separate this fibroid from the walls of your uterus. You're going to cut into you now. Or if it doesn't cut into you, you're going to have to leave some in there, and that's infection. But if you give the person something to drink that goes with the bloodstream, and where doesn't the blood go? Like when I gave the man the stuff in St. Croix. His name is Flores Hachias. He came because he had gout. He said, look, my gout is bad. I heard that you eat people. So his shoes was cut off, and I gave the substance. 2 weeks later, he came back with his wife. But he noticed something before he left, that I had given him the same substance I'd given other people who did not have gout. And he was angry because he said that this was medically inconsistent. How could you give the diabetic the same thing I have? I'm not diabetic. And they don't have gout. I say you have the same disease. You have mucus. The mucus is in her pancreas, but it's in your toe. So what happened? As he took the substance, he came back in 2 weeks. He came with his wife. He came back and he sit there, powerful. His name is Flores Hachias, a Puerto Rican. I said, how you feeling? No, his wife said, tell the doc how you feel. I said, he doesn't have to tell me. He's wearing shoes that is close to these. When he came, he had his shoes cut off. Oh, that's not what I'm talking about. Tell him how you feel. Well, doc, my energy's back, and, you know, I'm feeling stronger. Tell him, man, how you feel? Well, doc, I wasn't having sex in 2 years, and I'm having sex again. And she laughed. That's what I like about you women. Man doesn't give you guys that much credit, though, to have that patience. See, we're really afraid of you. And when a man cannot have sex, you know what comes to his thoughts? He's going to call you 1,000 times a day from his job, making sure you're in that house. You don't believe that there's a woman that would wait for him with a sexless life? Oh, no, never. Not in a man's brain. I had it with a policeman in Dominica. The policeman's wife came to me. Oh, this is a beautiful lady. You got to hear about this lady. She came to me and said, Sebi, my husband is impotent for 4 years. And I have not had sex for 4 years. And I'm not going to have sex with anyone else unless it's with him. So I want my husband to have sex with me. Are you going to help me, Sebi? I said, yes. And guess what? The man had the plant right behind his back, in his window from his kitchen. I asked her. I said, do you have Messe Maui in your house? She said, yes. I said, give him Messe Maui 5 times a day, big glasses of it. I let him take this to flush the stuff out of his colon and his intestines and through his interstitial obstruction. How much you charge me? Nothing. Because I just recently got to Dominica and I want to show him what I could do. So she goes and she gives him the stuff and she borrowed the plant, Messe Maui. Messe Maui. Who from the island? Anyone from the island? Anyone been to the island? Okay, those of you who've been to the island, do you remember in Jamaica or any place that you've been, there's a plant that grows that when you touch it, it goes to sleep? Has a lot of thorns on it. They call it dead and wake. Oh, you remember that? Thank you very much. That is the plant. That plant is very powerful. There should be no impotence in males, because baby, it grows on my land like mad. So you know I got it by the truckloads, because I don't want to be weak in that area no more. So what happened, the policeman now came to see me 4 days later and said to me, you know who I am? I said, no, which I didn't know. He said, I want to ask you a question. How could you heal someone without seeing them? I said, because you don't drink me. You drink a substance that makes you well. You don't have to see me. You don't drink me. I'm not the one that makes you well. It's the substance you you drink. You don't have to see me to drink it. So he said, well, are you saying that you could heal someone without telling me what they have? No, you don't have to tell me what they have. He said, okay. Well, you prepare some medicine. Our friend is sick. And I gave him the medicine to his friend. And his friend, and his friend, and his friend. Months, 1, 2, 3, 4 months went by. 2 months went by. Mr. Junior Charles kicked me out. I was in St. Croix. And one day, he came back to me. I didn't know who he was taking the medicine to. Or the compound, the herbs, the formulas. I was bare feet in the supermarket. Bare feet with my pants rolled up and a basket hat on my head because I was shabby. And I was really going through a moment of anger and despair. I was really frightened because I left my job in Los Angeles and I sold my house and nobody was believing me and my wife that we were able to heal these diseases, and our money dwindled down to $3,000. I don't have no job, I don't have no house, I have a wife and 3 babies, and I have $3,000, and nobody believes Sissy. So what do you do now? You hold on. You hold on until you die. You don't give up. So I went to the supermarket to buy some vegetables from a newborn baby, and someone saw me in the supermarket bare feet and said, no one knew me as this particular type. She said, Dr. Sebi. I turned around. I said, yes, ma'am. You know me? I said, no, ma'am. I'm the wife of the man that you cured that was blind. I said, no, ma'am. The only blind man I've cured is the man in Los Angeles. His name is Mr. Fredericks. He was blind for 11 years. I have not cured anyone since then. So yes, you did. I say, I'd like to take the credit. But you know, it is like taking credit for something that you don't deserve. Even though you take the credit, you don't feel right. You cannot feel right because you're going to sleep with you. When you lay down, you face you. And you're not going to feel too good. Even though she's saying, you killed my blind husband. Oh, I could easily say, yeah. Who was he? Then I wouldn't be able to say anything, so I knew I didn't cure the blind man anywhere but Los Angeles. She said, you killed my blind husband. I said, how did I do that one? Did you remember the policeman that came to you taking the remedy for a man that he didn't tell you what he had because you killed him without seeing him? It was my husband. He was blind for 7 years. His name is Jack Grano. Philogen Lake is another case in St. Martin. But Philogen Lake, Jack Grano was blind. And when people heard that woman said that in that supermarket, yeah, you killed my blind husband. Oh, God. Now, you could just imagine these hundreds of people hearing this woman tell me that I killed her blind husband. Well, the result of that was that hundreds of people started running up in the little shack. I was living in a little shack, paying about $85 a month up on this little hill. It was ragged with centipedes in it. You know what a centipede is? Yeah. I was living there because my money was out. But all of a sudden, this woman said, you killed my blind husband. And there were hundreds of people coming out there in their cars saying, heal me. But I didn't have any herbs. No, I had the herbs, but I didn't have any bottles. I didn't have any place to cook it in. So I went to buy some moth apple bottles. You know the little bottles? Little bottles, right? And I started putting the stuff inside the moth bottles, and people was taking it away, and they was coming back with these fantastic stories, and here the stuff started spreading. You see, everything happened naturally. I was bare feet in a supermarket with my pants rolled up, and this woman said, I cured her blind husband. And these people look at me, you killed her blind husband? But they came, because she showed me. So see how things happen. No, you could drink the spirulina, it's not going to hurt you, but it's not going to feed you any energy. I'll tell you what, I will make a present to you and show you what energy is like and what energy is. You're going to take it on at once. Yeah, you will tell the world about it. I'm going to select you. Oh, I know you will. I didn't worry about it. That's how I do my business. I don't like to advertise in papers and radios. It costs a lot of money. And you don't know what's going to be the repercussion of that or the goodness of that. But when you give someone something and let them take it, don't tell them anything, and they're going to be the greatest advertisement